Hello and welcome back. We are going to do a cute little cut crease today, so let's just get straight into it. You know the drill. We're going in with our Elmer's glue and a spoolie, preferably a clean one. I couldn't find a clean one, so don't judge my spoolie and I won't judge yours. But I'm going to brush all my hairs upward, and while doing so, I'm going to press it into my skin just to get them like laid across on top of my skin, and then I'll drag my spoolie across the top to create the like actual shape that I want in my brow. This is optional, but you can also clean underneath with concealer, but we're not going to do that today. We are going to prime our lids instead and call it a day. This is the L'Oreal concealer, infallible concealer to be specific, the shade 325. If you are interested in shades, I oftentimes forget to mention what shade I use because it goes over my head, just like me and my brushes. So if that's something you want to hear me talk about or say or mention, like brushes and stuff, just let me know down below so I know that it's something that you want, because if not, it is a lot of tedious work to like remember or like find and relocate my stuff while I'm recording audio if nobody is actually interested in it. But yeah, regardless, I'm going to use my little makeup bullet. That's what this beauty blender is called. You can look up the company, and we're going to be using this active but attractive palette, and I have no words. Like, this is just such a pretty palette, like the range and all of it. This is from Locas Boutique, and I'm going to go ahead and create the shape that I want with a darker brown. I'm using a small brush for this part because I don't want to apply it and just everywhere all over my lid, because I do have plans to make a cut crease, meaning whatever goes where I don't want it to go, I'm gonna have to clean it up. Usually I would do like the Vaseline method, but if I am setting my lid with another brown and it's not actually supposed to be as bright as you would think, like when I use Vaseline to like cut the crease, it's mostly so that I don't have like any browns in that area. But since I am setting my lid with another brown, it's okay that I just cut my crease like so with the brown on top of my lid. This will all make sense when I actually start doing it, but I'll explain it further. But I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more of a fluffy brush to just go ahead and give it that dimension and bring in another brown and just kind of buff out the edges of the first color while also blending upward to just create that little smoky effect. Now I'm going to go in with a flat brush and a 16-hour camo concealer from e.l.f. But my bad, again, I literally recorded last week's video and this week's video back to back, so I still did not get the hang of the out of focus and all that, so I apologize. And when I said I would do better, that was not referring to this week. That's gonna be the next few weeks, because I literally recorded these back to back, and this is me noticing, excuse my language, mom and dad, but that was so aggravating. Literally, like, that is like one of the worst feelings. If you record and you do makeup or whatever you record and you realize you're out of focus, you're like, oh my god, like, how long have I been out of focus? Like, it's so aggravating. But anyways, but this was what I was referring to. Like, instead of cleaning it with Vaseline and then doing the concealer and cutting my crease, I just pretty much went in with the concealer and just realizing, like, if it did mix with the brown and become a light brown concealer rather than like how bright it is now, it would be fine because I'm setting my lid with a brown anyways. However, the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer is pretty underrated for cutting creases, because that's what I've been using for a minute now, and I would literally not use anything else because this dries so quickly and it's so bright. Like, it's just a very bright concealer. But regardless, moving on, this is me setting my lid with a brown, so it's way darker than the concealer I already have on my lid, which is why I wasn't tripping off of like the Vaseline and cutting it and cleaning it and whatever. I've been talking about that for like 5 minutes now, so you guys get my point. But gonna go ahead and set this, and if you don't like it, if it's too dark for you, you can always go in on top of this with like a white or a bright nude shade that would brighten it, and it wouldn't take away the brown completely. Now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Foundation in the shade 440. And this is the cream contour I'll be using today as a stick foundation from Bare Minerals in the shade Sienna. But first, let's go ahead and start with foundation. I'm going to go on a rant again. And if you're not interested, skip ahead, but keep watching, please. But anyways, I have been breaking out so bad, and I mentioned this in my last week's video, which technically was literally 5 minutes before this video because I recorded them back to back. However, I wanted to talk about texture and makeup because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions on like makeup looking cakey or blah blah blah, all things we've heard before, right? Annoying things, especially as a makeup artist, it's so annoying. But I wanted to say, like, regardless if you have acne or not, there's always going to be texture on your skin that makeup cannot hide nor diffuse. Like, none of it, it's not meant to do that. It lays on top of our skin for a reason. And if you are interested in helping your texture or making your makeup look better, it all starts from the root. So skincare is super important. Okay, I'll stop talking about my acne, but it's just hard. It's hard. I literally had cystic acne in high school and I got over it. So now whenever I break out, it freaks me out because I'm like, I don't want to go back. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and blend my contour. I basically tap it in the same spots back and forth, like instead of going up or down, because it does diffuse it, but it still gives it that pigment instead of like completely taking it off. And then I'll go directly after with my camo concealer. I don't know why I didn't show it in camera, my bad. But this is the 16-hour camo concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And I'm going to drag it all the way up towards my hairline because I do want that lifted effect. And sometimes I do go a little bit over the sides of my nose just because I do bake the sides anyways. But directly after I'm done blending out my concealer at all, I'm going to press my loose powder, my bad, into my skin underneath my eyes. The reason why I'm pressing it instead of letting it bake is because my skin's been pretty dry lately, and the more powder you use, the more that it shows the dry patches on your skin, etc. Like, and where I'm at right now, I'm like, every time I come out here, my skin like freaks out and it tries to like balance itself out. So that could be why I'm breaking out too, but also because when my skin's dry, like it overproduces oil, like all of our skins, right? So it makes me break out. But like I said, skincare is so important. But anyways, let's bake underneath our contour just for future reference when we do our powder contour, that if it gets on top of where the translucent powder is, it will be diffused rather than a super dark shade, you know. We've all seen those blotchy contours. I'm not going to say any names. Myself in high school. Now, this is what I use for my powder contour. This is the NYX contour palette. And then for blush, I'm going to go in with the Note Cosmetics Desert Rose blush. And for highlight, we're going in with Pretty Vulgar's highlight in the shade Shimmering Swan. La la la. That is a tongue twister. Literally, I don't know why I mess it up every single time. But the one time I didn't mess it up, I have to go on a tangent about how I do mess it up. It makes no sense. But this is the M510 brush from Morphe that I'm using for my contour. I use a small brush for contour because it's more precise, and contour is all about depth. It's not about bronzing your face, so you only need it in the depths of like where you want your cheekbones to be or any type of definition. And then I'll go in on the apples of my cheeks, the sides of my forehead, my chin, everywhere with blush. If I didn't have it on my nose, I would have went on my nose, but we're not going to do that today. And yeah, I just basically bring back the color to my face. And then for highlight, I'm highlighting all the points that I want to be lifted. That's the point of highlight. So my forehead, because we want to shine bright like a diamond, and my chin, my tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and I usually do underneath my brow bones as well. Now again, Active and Attractive coming in clutch. This is the style, I believe, L19. If not, I don't know because it didn't have a name on it. But this is from that bundle, Active and Attractive. So I think that's all you need to know. And I'm going in with my green duo glue. I'm lining my lash line, and then afterwards putting some Better Than Sex mascara on top of my lashes just to get the dust off. We're not really worried about how well the mascara works on this channel. If you know, you know. But basically what I use mascara for is to remove the dust from my lashes so that my lashes mix with the fake lashes, because the fake lashes are all that matter in this situation, which the lashes are from Loca's Boutique. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but this whole collection that I received from Loca's Boutique will be used in this video. So the palette, the lashes, and the lipstick as well. And these are definitely for my lengthy lash girls because these are very pretty long lashes. But now let's go in with our lip combo. This lip liner is from Queen Cosmetics. And of course, the lipstick is from Loca's Boutique once again in the shade Active. I'm going to go ahead and just line my lips like I normally would. And if you have to overline your lips, don't feel guilty about it, because I have what you would kind of consider bigger lips or big lips, and I still overline mine. So don't let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do, especially when it comes to makeup. There's literally no rules to makeup. I don't care what anybody says, especially when people post like those things on Instagram, like if you're doing this, you're doing it wrong, or don't bake. Like, girl, bye. Whatever works for you works for you. Like, doesn't matter. Don't listen to the tips on Instagram. Now, this is what I came up with. It's a very soft, neutral glam moment. This is cute for a little date night with yourself, with your significant other, with your partner. But, you know, we don't got time for that, nor money. So, these lashes I definitely would use again. They're very pretty. But this is all I got for you guys this week. So, I will be back next week. And until then, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Love you. Bye.